So in this video, I'm going to show you how to make your Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 4 MagSafe compatible. So what I'm going to do first of all is to explain what it is I have got in front of me. And the first thing is this here, and this is the ESR HaloLock MagSafe charging stand. Now below that I have got a USB-C to USB-C cable for power, which comes with the charging stand. And then next to that I have got an official 25 watt USB-C power adapter from Samsung. And then below that, what we can see here is an ESR HaloLock Universal Ring. And then what we have got here is a case which is compatible with the ESR HaloLock Universal Ring. I will explain more about that when I get to that. And then finally, what we've got up here is the Flip 4. So what I'm going to do now is just quickly explain what the ESR HaloLock Universal Ring does, because this is quite possibly the most important thing within this setup. Now what it is, this is a metal ring which is self-adhesive on one side. And what it does, it sticks to the back of a compatible case, which then makes the case MagSafe compatible, and so therefore the phone that goes inside the case, which already has wireless capability for charging, then becomes MagSafe compatible via the case with the ESR Universal Ring on it. Now these rings usually come with templates to help you guide and stick them onto the backs of cases, and those templates are usually for very specific phones, such as certain phones within the Samsung range. However, because we don't have a dedicated ESR HaloLock Universal Ring setup specifically for the Flip 4, what I'm going to do in this video is to just basically guide the ring on manually without any kind of template. However, this will work. Now before I start attaching the ESR HaloLock Universal Ring to the back of the case for the Flip 4, let me just make sure first of all that the Flip 4 is actually compatible wirelessly for charging with the ESR charger here. So I'm just going to place the back of the phone onto the charger, and as we can see there, it is now charging. And interestingly, let's just make a note of that time there. It has actually only got 1% charge in the phone at the moment, and it is saying that it is going to take 2 hours and 30 minutes until it hits a full charge. So we can test that as well after we have put the ring on the case and then tried it that way as well. Now, like I've said before, this whole thing here is kind of like trial and error, as it were, because usually we would get a template to guide on the universal ring. However, as we can see here, all I've done is effectively just centered the back of the phone to the ring on the ESR charger there, which basically means that the center of the phone is going to be a good area to line up the universal ring onto. Now just a quick note here on the type of case that I'm going to be using to connect the universal ring to. The case has to have a hard plastic back. As we can hear there, that is a hard plastic back. Now you cannot use anything like a silicone case, rubber case, or anything like that, or any kind of case that is porous on the back. And the reason why is it has to be solid and hard like this one so that the ring can stick to it. Anything other than this and the ring will not stick to it properly. Also, you have to make sure that the case is not too thick as well, so that it doesn't block any of the wireless charging reaching the phone from the charger itself. Okay, so it's now time to attach the universal ring to the back of the case. Now just to be clear, when you buy these universal rings from ESR, there are a couple of variants and some different colors and stuff, and when you get them, you get cleaning kits so you can prepare and clean the back of the case before putting the ring on. However, because this case has still got a clear film on the back of it, I'm just going to remove that film and go straight on, because it will be really clean and clear at that point anyways. So let me just remove the film off the back of the case here. Like I say, in this instance you would use the cleaning kit that comes with the rings anyway to clean it. Then what I'm going to do is peel off the cellophane off the back of the ring to expose the sticky layer underneath, Now what I'm going to do is try and pay a bit of attention here, and I'm going to just try and center this ring as best as possible onto the case. So just give me a moment while I concentrate on this. Okay, as we can see there, that's probably quite central. To be honest, I think if you spend a little bit of time and kind of measure it up and stuff, you'll be able to get it on straighter than I have maybe. However, because we know that the phone was actually picking up the charge from the charger when it was just placed roughly into the center of the back of the phone, that position and therefore the ring is going to be fine. And as we can see now, I have put the case on the flip 4. So what we're best off doing now before we go any further whilst the phone is inside the case is to push down on the universal ring, and that's just so that we've got something underneath it now so we can apply pressure and stick the actual ring down a lot more firmer onto the back of the case. So as I've gone round there just pushing that down, what's happening is the phone being behind the case and behind the ring is going to give me a lot of leverage there to push the ring down and make sure that it sticks onto the case properly. Okay, so it is now time to test and see if this has all worked correctly. So here's the phone inside the case with the charging ring on the back. So I'm just going to place it onto the charger magnetically. As we could hear there, that was the indicator to say that the phone is charging. Now, if we have a quick look here, as we can see, it is saying still 1%, and it is going to take 2 hours and 30 minutes to get to a full charge. And that is exactly the same time that it was saying earlier on before I applied the case and the magnetic ring. So what this is telling us is that even though the phone has now got a case on it with the ring on it, the actual amount of power reaching the phone wirelessly is still exactly the same as it was when the phone was connected to it on its own. And if you were wondering how strong the magnetic connection is between the phone and the charger in this setup, check this out. Now I'm waving that about quite a bit there, as you can see, so I'm not kind of doing this lightly and the phone isn't coming off. Now I would not suggest you do this, however I'm just doing it just so that you can see how strong the magnetic connection is. And as we can see here, I am holding the phone and waving it about quite a bit, and the phone has actually got the charging base all hanging off the side of it. So again, the magnetic connection is really strong. Once again, I would not advise you do this. I'm just doing it to show you how strong the magnetic connection is. And as we can see here, because the magnetic connection is so strong, the phone can be opened up in its landscape mode whilst it is charging like this. So this position here would mean that you could actually be watching stuff on the phone, maybe movies or a bit of YouTube or something like that. Okay, so that should just about do it for this video. And as ever, if you are interested in any of the bits that I've used in the video, there will be links in the description below taking you to Amazon where you can get all the bits that I've used in the video. And if you found the video useful in any way, please do give it a thumbs up. It really does help me on YouTube. And maybe you might want to consider subscribing to my channel and getting all over that bell notification icon to be notified of similar videos to this one in the future. I'm David Harry. Thank you very much for watching this video. Take care and goodbye now.